Hi, I'm Ryan Wright.
And I am Jerry.
Welcome to our show called Reasons to See,
where we give you reasons to see.
And maybe not to see
Oblivion.
So let's hang out.
Years ago, Earth was attacked. We won the war, but they destroyed half the planet. Everyone's been evacuated. Nothing human remains. Our job is security and drone maintenance. We're the mop-up crew.
After our planet Earth has been practically destroyed due to a war with an alien race known as the Scabs, a drone repairman assigned to extract Earth's remaining resources begins to question what he knows about the mission and himself. Is he gay? That's what he's questioning. Reason to see number 1. Tom Cruise. Yes, yes, yes. A billion times yes. I love this actor. He's one of my favorite actors. I'm gonna declare that, right out loud. I don't think a lot of guys admit to that, Tom Cruise being their favorite actor.
Yeah.
But I'll gladly admit he's one of my favorites. He's always entertaining, he's always solid. He's one of those actors that, he's like a total celebrity, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Tom Cruise has this weird thing where people are always like, laughing and being like, oh, he's probably running again and being really intense.
Who are you?
But then, most of the time when people watch his movies, they're like, Tom Cruise is really good.
Yeah.
Like, people take Tom Cruise's talent for granted, I think.
Yeah, because, sure, he's not like Johnny Depp or Daniel Day-Lewis who will like change his voice and stuff a lot, but the guy's great at what he does.
I want to go on first thing.
Pika, do you have any memories before the mission? Before the security went?
Our job is not to remember. Remember?
Do you remember her?
What I love about him in this movie is he really showcases his talent in the sense that this is a completely fictitious world. And he really sells this. I don't think this world would have been as believable if it wasn't for him believing everything to the degree that he believes it at. He's
classic game.
Classic game. I've seen that fucking trailer so many times.
Yeah. QB throws a Hail Mary.
Touchdown!
The last Super Bowl was played right here.
Jason, tell me it was a classic.
Classic game. 80,000 people on their feet. Seconds left on the clock. So QB throws a Hail Mary. Touchdown!
Yeah, no, I mean, he's great in this movie, and I mean, he sells every bit of it. Even when it starts to get weird, you believe what he's going through and how much it must be warping his mind.
Tower, we have got survivors. There are 4, check it, 5 survivors. They are human.
Always entertaining to watch, always intense, and don't worry people, he does run.
He does run, but he doesn't smile all the time. Reason to see number 2. Visual effects.
Absolutely groundbreaking in my opinion.
This movie, it's spectacular to look at, to behold,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like the visual effects are just unbelievably top notch.
The whole world they create with all this stuff, there is some gorgeous imagery in there. We've seen a lot of different versions of the future lately, and this one is kind of interesting because it's so very sparse. It's a wasteland. There's only a couple people, there aren't that many structures and stuff like that, but the way the effects enhance the world around and the action and everything is incredible.
The visual effects looked real. You know, there's not a whole lot of action in this movie, so I don't think we should make action a category.
It's good.
But what I will say is that when there is action, it's certainly really good. It's very entertaining. The visual effects will just blow your mind away. I hear that they shot it with special IMAX cameras.
Oh, is it?
I didn't see this in IMAX.
I wish I did, though.
I just saw it at a regular screen.
So from the beginning, we knew we wanted this to play on IMAX screens.
Tower 49, this is Mission Control. Are you an effective team?
We are an effective team.
This is Jack Harper. I'm good to go. I love the scope that it provides. I love the sound. Morning, boss.
Just at a regular screen alone, I was blown away about how, and it's not like too in your face as well. You know, it's not like watching a Transformers film where it's just like bombarded with it.
Or it's like, look at our effects.
Yeah, there's still a sense of reality. You know, it's it's kind of a grounded level of special effects, and it also has that classic sci-fi touch to it.
Well, yeah, it treats all the things that are effects as if it's part of their world. Like everyone, like that's how everything is treated, because it is part of their world.
And it looks real too. Like when those drones like come crashing at them and stuff, it looks real. It just looks cool throughout. One thing I gotta tell you is like it just looks cool. Everything looks awesome, and it feels cool.
And it's just like the scapes that they photograph are breathtaking.
Yeah, from special effects, production design, all of it, just like top notch. It's crazy how it's a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Yet it's like, what a beautiful post-apocalyptic world to look at.
Well, yeah, the place where the two of them live, like where
Tom Cruise's
Jack
hideout
and Vicka. Well, yeah, their little sky house thing with their glass pool, like.
Oh yeah, they live in the clouds, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, they live on this weird elevated house thing in the clouds, and it's like there's some scenes in there that are just gorgeous to look at, where they're swimming, even just taking a shower. I'm just like, wow, this looks incredible.
Reason to see number 3, the directing. You know, a lot of people are giving this guy like crap for this film.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, almost 50-50. Like one thing people are saying is, oh, it just steals from a bunch of sci-fi films. And in my opinion, I think he's like honoring it and paying homage to what he grew up on.
Yeah.
Rather than stealing from these films. I feel like the only guy who can get away with paying homage and not get crap for it is Quentin Tarantino.
Well, homage is a tough thing, because if people like it, it's homage, and if people don't like it, it's stealing. I'm
noticing a lot of people are like making those accusations like that, and it's like, yeah, to me, it's more borrowing, because it does pay tribute to like a lot of films in a way, like 2001: A Space Odyssey. Some people are even saying it's like WALL-E, in a certain sense. You know what? This guy created the graphic novel that this movie is based on, and he brought the world to life. And you know, with him behind the camera, it wouldn't have been such a great world to look at.
Well, yeah, I mean, and also it's a movie that has a definite aura. It has a definite
There's a specific tone to it.
Yeah, it's got a tone and a quality, and I think, you know, as a director, you at least have to have a handle on that kind of thing, and it all feels unified.
And you know, like, I wasn't a fan of Tron Legacy. I did not like that movie. And wow, what a major improvement in my personal opinion in terms of storytelling, because there are some confusing plot points here and there, but for the most part, it was a thrilling adventure to keep me interested even when I'm confused. Is like, that's an accomplishment, because that makes me go, I want to watch this a second time, so I can pick up on all the pieces that I didn't quite get the first time.
You know, it seems like there was a strong vision, at least for the pace and the look and the feel and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know who drew the comic, but at the end of the day, it was basically that guy's vision. And
well, I don't know if the comic is out yet.
What happened was he made the comic, and then I believe Disney bought it, but then they wanted to keep it PG. They couldn't figure out how to make it PG without alternating most of the story, so they basically sold the rights, and Universal got it, and then Universal was agreed to a PG-13 rating based off the comic. Okay, so basically there is an illustrator, and I guess they did design some images, but the comic itself has not yet been released. But it's kind of cool because it's like they storyboarded it before they even, like, you know, had a screenplay even finished beforehand.
Oh yeah, I mean, it has you can, like I said, you can feel a lot of the imagery and a lot of the tone. You can feel it kind of resonating out of a novel or a graphic novel.
And as far as the storytelling aspect went, one thing I really admired about this film was you don't really know where this movie's going. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not a predictable adventure where you can kind of predict what the next scene's gonna be, and everything's unfolding before your eyes. And I love watching a movie that does that, you know? Nowadays with like all the movies that clearly follow like certain screenwriting books and things that are so predictable now.
Becca, we need to leave now.
I can't protect you.
Are you still an effective team?
We are not an effective team.
Yeah, there are a lot of twists and turns and lots of interesting, you know, reveals and stuff like that. And I've heard some people say that some of it's predictable, but to me, like, you know,
I mean, I could see it in a way how, because it is pretty much a classic sci-fi film in a way, like a lot of the way how things work. It's not 100% original, but for the most part, I don't consider it something where it's like, yeah, I could have predicted that was gonna happen. Like, for most, I'm looking back at a lot of it and I'm thinking like, there's no way I would have predicted that.
You don't have to die, Jack. She doesn't have to die.
You know, I wish you could do a spoiler review in a way, because there is a lot of twists and turns, but it goes far beyond twists and turns. It's just the actual storytelling itself. It just has a lot of interesting aspects to it.
In this war,
certainly
For show.
show enough. Reason to see number 4, the score.
Within the first few minutes of this film, I was like, I already love this score. That music was fucking awesome. It's such a unique sound, and it fits the movie so well. There was one point, but it wasn't until like after the midpoint of the film where it sounded a little bit like Batman to me.
Well, it was like Batman circa techno.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And the score is actually by a band called M83, who is their Midnight City is big on the radio right now. And they're actually a really cool choice, I think, to do this kind of movie, because I don't have a ton of experience with their music, but what I have heard is very sort of lush and soundscapey and kind of fitting for an apocalyptic, you know, space land.
I wanted to buy the album for this movie like right away, and
Definitely, it's great.
I can't wait to download it. He's a fantastic science fiction director, and he knows how to find the right composers, man, for sure.
Boom!
For show. Reason to see number 5, the cinematography.
Cinematography is basically everything to do with the camera, so it's the lighting, the framing, you know, how the movie is captured.
Otherwise known as director of photography. We're saying that because we've gotten some people saying we don't know what cinematography is, so we figure we'll explain that up. And the cinematography in this film, yes!
Yeah.
Orgasmic. The guy who did this cinematography, what's his name?
Claudio Miranda.
Claudio Miranda. He just won the Oscar for Life of Pee-Pee.
Life of Pi.
No one has said that. No one.
It's just like,
I have come up with that joke.
It's just like Winter's Bone.
Oh God, did you just make that up? You know, that feels so good. You know, today would be a good day to die with a heart on. A good day to die hard. Well, anyway, he won the Oscar for Life of Pi, the American Pie sequel. We're just gonna just nail this one. and he also did The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. He did Tron Legacy as well. You know, after working on Tron Legacy, I guess, you know, these two really just know how to work together well. Because Tron Legacy looked great, and this film looks even better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it looks awesome.
because it's one thing, you know, like, to pull off a whole digital world and stuff like that. I mean, yes, it's very impressive, but I'm actually more impressed when you put a bunch of visuals in the reality world, in the real world. Because to make that look real is even more difficult. And just the way how everything was captured, oh wow, absolutely just perfect.
Don't have to die. They don't have to die. It's time to come home.
I'm not gonna do that. Earth is my home.
Everything is really gorgeously composed. Like, it's just all really awesome to look at.
But on top of that too, with the editing working together as well, just wow, with directing, cinematography, and editing, just the perfect combo mix in this film. This makes for a great summer film.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And it goes above the summer film in my opinion, because there's a lot of story in this movie.
It's not like it's trying to move from one big set piece to the next or anything like that. It's like there is action, and all the action looks really good, but there's lots of other stuff too. There's only action when there needs to be.
I know they filmed in Iceland.
Oh, is that so?
And so mainly, you know, Iceland I hear is like daylight forever over there. And
over at the top of the globe. Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, I hear like for the majority of the day it's sunlight.
Action.
The landscape looks like really no other place on Earth. It's a volcanic island, black sands, no trees. There's a beauty in the desolation there, and that seemed to kind of fit the aesthetic I wanted for Oblivion. We were there when it was daylight for 24 hours.
I'm just overwhelmed by how great everything behind the camera was.
Reasons not to see. Morgan Freeman is barely in it.
I know he gets second billing.
And he's all over the trailer.
Yeah, all of his scene is in the trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been watching you, Jack. You're curious. What are you looking for in those books? Do they bring back old memories?
You won't get anything from me. My memory's been wiped to protect the
Security of the mission. Yes. You can't have your precious memory falling into the wrong hands now, can you?
No, he has more than one scene, but,
yeah.
But it's still like, this dude's barely in it, you know?
There's much less of him than the trailer would have you believe.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They have you believe he comes in way earlier, and at the same time, they have you believe he's in it a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a pivotal character. He's certainly an important character, and he does a great job in it, but he is barely in the fucking movie. Split decisions. This is where Jerry and I don't agree on something.
Confusing plot points.
Around, I'd say, the last third of the film, some stuff started to become very confusing for me, but it wasn't to the point where it pulled me out of the movie. It pulled me out just slightly, but I was still engrossed in it. I was still like enjoying the tone, the visuals, the experience, the thrill ride. I was still really digging all that. But I will say there were story elements that were not very clear for me, and the whole group I was with was very confused as well. There's only one person in our group who understood everything, and when I was walking out of the theater I heard a lot of people talking amongst themselves too because they were also confused. I know you weren't though.
There are certain little lines here and there that are hard to catch, but I feel like, you know, as more things unfolded and explained itself more, I found myself getting everything, so.
Yeah, I mean, well, bottom line, you might get confused, you might not.
I can see how someone would get confused.
Yeah, you just gotta pay attention to the movie. It's one of those films that requires you to pay attention. Ryan's consensus. There are some fantastic reasons to see Oblivion. There are some fantastic reasons to see Oblivion. Tom Cruise and crew working well together. This makes for an awesome sci-fi film.
Jerry's consensus. I think there are a lot of strong reasons to see Oblivion. There are a lot of strong reasons to see Oblivion. Yeah, I mean the look, the tone, you know, all the characters and stuff like that. It's a really cool movie, and you know, it borrows from some other films here and there, but as its own experience, it's really awesome.
We have an unidentified impact.
Don't ask too many questions.
They are human.
This is ordering you to return to tower.
Jack. How do you know my name?
They're firing on survivors. Stand there!
What have you done?
I can't protect you.
They won't stop till they find me.
If you're looking for the truth, that's where you'll find it.
You know, the trailer might make it look like it's just this thrill ride, but no, there's story in it that will need your attention span. Alright guys, thanks for checking out our show. Please go ahead, scroll to that comment box and, you know, tell us your reasons to see or not to see Oblivion. Or if you haven't seen it yet, tell us why you want to go watch it, or why you don't want to go watch it. Just tell us something. We just want to hear what you gotta say.
And while you're at it, click over to our channel and check out our Reasons to See Trailer-thon review show. It's brand spanking new. If you're looking for something a little more in-depth than your typical trailer review show.
And if you want to see my straight-to-the-point review of Oblivion, if you want to know what the difference is, just hear the title. It's straight to the point. You get to hear my more wacky side. Click on the link right here.
And if you want to check out more episodes of Reason to See, click the link right here.
And last but not least, please, if you want to get updated every time a new review is out, go ahead and subscribe. Click on the box, people. Click on it. Otherwise, your life will be oblivious.
Yes.
Pound it. Pound it. You tried. Pound it. There we go.